Hey Tim,
Hey, Shay.
quick question.
Yep.
What is a comparison rate?
What is a comparison rate? Wow, that's a trip down memory lane. When I started being a broker 14, I think, years ago, comparison rates were something that had just been introduced, as I recall correctly. And that was in an era where lenders charged early repayment penalties and deferred establishment fees if you paid your variable loan off too quickly. And as a result, they would build in other fees, such as those, into the loan as well. And so being charged fees was a big issue, and so you could quote a cheap interest rate but still sting the customer on the fee. And if you just looked at the interest rate, you really wouldn't have any idea whether it's a good deal or not. So comparison rates were brought in so that you factor in any fees like deferred establishment fees and discharge fees and monthly fees and annual fees and that sort of thing, and upfront fees. Factor them all into what the interest rate would be if you paid for all of that stuff as an interest rate. And it made a bit more sense at the time than it does now, in my opinion, because the law basically said it had to be based on a 25-year loan term and assumed the loan amount was $150,000, if I recall correctly. So over time, that's become less and less relevant as the average loan size has become bigger. The bigger the loan is, the more important the interest rate is compared to fees. And most loans are over 30 years as well. So these days, and actually for quite a long time, I've found a comparison rate to be quite a misleading thing to focus on, because it doesn't tell you the full picture. It doesn't tell you whether there's an offset account, for example. It doesn't tell you, well, long story short, it doesn't tell you a lot about the loan. If you have a mortgage broker helping you out, then the comparison rate is something I never ever pay attention to unless someone asks me about it, because it doesn't help me figure out what the right solution is. So that's what a comparison rate is, and as it turns out, that's what I think of it too.
Thank you.
No worries.